My old friend, I've come to punch your face again, because the crime's got this town reeking. I've had enough, now time for housekeeping. All these villains that keep causing me so much pain, like that guy Bane. It's the sound of violence. On dark streets I walk alone.
Hello and welcome to Big Dumb Movie, where we discuss a different Big Dumb movie every episode. I'm your host Corey, and I'm here with my co-hosts Alan.
Hello.
And Steve.
Hola.
What's up, guys? How do you guys feel about Batman as a character?
I love Batman as a character. I wish I loved this Batman.
Batman Forever?
Yeah, Batman Forever. I think I couldn't describe myself as a fan now.
Well, I mean, Batman as a character will fade out eventually. This movie is forever.
He's forever.
It's in the title.
This one is eternal.
Well, I mean,
give him
what's
ideas.
worse, Batman and Robin or Batman Forever?
Batman and Robin's worse, my opinion. I mean, it's hard to do, but it's worse. It's so bad it might be rated in negative numbers.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Batman and Robin is worse, yes, but it's more watchable, I think, because it's funner. It's so bad that it's good, I think. Alan, you've seen that, right?
I have, and I kind of agree with you. Watching this one was not fun.
Right. That one has Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's using a lot of puns, you know.
Yeah.
The nipples are more pronounced on the suits. That's pretty good.
The Batmobile looks even more like a motorized sex toy.
Yeah, the gay subtext is a lot heavier in that
Right.
one. I mean, it's fairly heavy in this one, but it's
Yeah.
heavier in that one.
At least the Batmobile in that one looked a little bit more 1930s inspired, which I like that comic. They've always kept the time frame kind of vague, but there's always these kind of references to sort of a 30s era, like Art Deco style aesthetic to things. And I think they added a flair of that to the Batmobile for Batman and Robin. That was kind of cool.
Interesting.
But
I don't know. There's a lot of neon in that one, too, though.
yeah, it's still bad. It's definitely bad.
Well, Alan, did you ever see this movie before this viewing? I mean,
Batman Forever.
yeah, what's your exposure?
So, yeah, like every other movie, I vaguely remember it coming out. I remember seeing it, but it was so long ago that I basically could see it again, which I did. And I don't remember much of it. I remember Val Kilmer, and I did not like him as Bruce Wayne.
Well, who's your favorite, Alan? Who's your favorite Bruce Wayne / Batman?
It's an easy answer, a corny answer, but I just have to say Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Probably just because he's the newest, and he felt...
Well, he's not newer than Affleck.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, Affleck's not great either. But
All right.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale for you. All right, Steve, who's your pick?
Best Batman on screen. It's a tie for me between Bale and Keaton. I really can't pick between them. They're really different versions of Bruce. But I honestly can't pick between the two as to which I like more, because I think you can like them equally respective of each other.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It'd be tough for me to really pick one over the other, but I guess if I had to, I'd go with Keaton.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the live-action Batmans.
Right. Yeah, I think I would too. Even though in some ways he's almost less of a Bruce than Bale is. Like, I guess part of it is just bias. Those are the ones I grew up with. But, like, he was perfect for where Batman was on the page and on the screen at the point they made those movies.
Plus, I like his, like, regular man bod. It's
Right.
pretty funny.
That is one of, like, the things I'd nitpick about it too. But yeah, it's funny. It definitely.
Yeah, he's just like a regular, like, looking guy.
Right.
He doesn't train or anything.
Right. Yeah, like Bruce spends 60 hours a week just bodybuilding and the rest, like, beating people up. And
No.
He's not Christian Bale. He didn't gain like 60 pounds
no.
Yeah.
in his role.
And then, the Christian Bale thing, I mean, I'm sure you guys already know this, but that was right after The Machinist,
Yes.
where he was like 90 pounds. No, I mean, he wasn't 90, but I think he was like 120 pounds or something.
Right.
Yeah, he was actually really heavy for that movie, and they had to do some like effects and editing because he was bigger than it seems because he bulked up so fast.
He was bigger in Batman Begins?
Yeah, like he was like he wasn't obviously he was ripped, but they used like editing because he gained more weight than it seemed because
Wow.
he boosted up so hard.
Yeah, he's an extremely physical actor in that way. He just gained a bunch of weight recently with
Yeah.
this movie about Dick Cheney.
Yeah, Vice,
Vice,
which
yeah.
I actually didn't see, but it looked good.
It did look good. I mean, debate for a different time, but I'm of the opinion based on that. Like Hardy's voice was great, but they should have cast a bodybuilder to play Bane. The one argument I often get is that that community, you're not liable to find someone who can pull off the character acting, but like you don't need to. You just pull a James Earl Jones with Vader. Like Price, the guy inside the suit was a big bodybuilder dude. Lucas cast him for his physique. James Earl Jones dubbed all the dialogue. You never hear the other
Yeah,
guys.
David
voice.
Prowse.
David Prowse, yeah. And the same thing here. Bane spends the whole movie wearing a mask. You never see his mouth.
Well, maybe they should have got the guy that played Bane in Batman and Robin to be in The Dark Knight Rises.
No, see, that was the problem with that one. It looked like a guy in a foam suit, which
I
I'm
think-
pretty sure is what it was.
The real answer here is The Rock.
No, even The Rock's not big enough for that.
The Rock is not big enough. He's the biggest guy there is.
Biggest guy there is. Nobody on Earth is bigger than The Rock.
No one is. He's the biggest man.
I think you're cooking something.
All right, so
Okay.
Steve, let's do a little story time. Yeah, got any good Batman Forever stories? When did you see this? Your grandma fucking hated or something?
Right. Well, my parents both saw it with me. They certainly didn't like it. Yeah, my parents took my friend of mine and I to see this release weekend. I wasn't old enough to see like a midnight screening, but I'm pretty sure it came out on Thursday or Friday, and that Saturday we were there to see an evening showing. I was pumped. I was super pumped. Like, a huge Batman fan, huge fan of the comic books. Had loved the previous two Batman movies, was way looking forward to this one coming out. Our friend and I are sitting in the seats. We've seen the trailers. We knew it was going to be different than Burton's, but we were still like, this is going to be cool. It's going to be big. It's going to be Batman. They're going to do it cool. A third of the way through the film, I mean, the opening scene doesn't help, but a third of the way through the film, I knew I wasn't going to like what I was going to get, and the disappointment level just spiraled from there. I was actually upset, like angry, when I left the theater at the end. I'm like, why would they fire Tim Burton for this? This is bullshit. Like, I was so pissed off. Right?
Wow. I mean, well, he did produce this film.
He did, but I've always wondered what level of involvement there really was, because it's nothing even remotely like the two that he made.
Yeah. I mean, it's very even vaguely connected. They mentioned Catwoman in this one at some point.
Right. As they mentioned Vicky, and Selena says something about Vicky in the second one.
Yeah, I love what they say about Vicky in the second one. It's actually Bruce talking to Alfred. He's like,
Right.
what, I turn around and just let Vicky Vale in the Batcave? What's that about?
Right. There's that one, but then he and Selena are talking about their dating history, and he mentions he dated a woman named Vicky, and Selena has some snide comment about it, like, oh, was she a realtor or something like that?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
Vicky.
Right.
I don't remember seeing this in theaters. I might have. The one I was really pumped to see was Batman and Robin.
I went into that one angry because of this one, and it made me even angrier.
I was really excited to see Batman and Robin. This one, I remember liking a lot as a little kid.
Right.
And you'll hear that a lot from me, just like you'll hear a lot from Alan on this podcast that he's heard of it but never seen it, or he knows of it. That's the Alan line right there.
Yep.
So this was directed by a guy called Joel Schumacher, who also directed a movie I like a lot called Falling Down. And I think he did Phone Booth and one other big movie that is slipping my mind.
He also did Lost Boys,
That's it,
which
Lost
is
Boys.
one of my favorite movies ever. He wrote the script for The Wiz, which was a Michael Jackson adaptation of Wizard of Oz.
Well, yeah, it was based on a Broadway,
Broadway production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is horrible, by the way. The Wiz is not good.
He directed a movie called Flatliners with Emilio Estevez and Kiefer Sutherland and some other people who were popular at the time. They remade it recently. The remake was terrible. The original's kind of a cool movie. It's about a bunch of med students who basically figure out how to let themselves die and come back.
Yeah, I saw the remake. It was the worst film I saw of,
Yeah.
I think, 2017 or 16.
Damn, dude.
Right?
Yeah,
pretty bad.
17, I think. It was the worst. And I saw over 100 movies that year, so...
Damn.
He did a crazy one called 8mm with Nick Cage. about a guy who gets hired by a very wealthy old woman to find and destroy a snuff film her recently deceased husband had made. It's a really fucked up movie. It has Joaquin Phoenix in it too.
That's my guy right there.
Right.
It's my wife's favorite actor.
He's a great actor. And then, he's done some other ones since, but the two, like, I think are worth most mentioning are, he did one called Veronica Guerin. It's about a real-life woman who's a journalist in Ireland who got murdered by the IRA after publishing some stuff about what they were up to. And he also did the film adaptation of Phantom of the Opera, which even if you're not into that, like Phantom of the Opera, whatever, technically speaking, it was a really well put together production. Since then, some stuff that's not even worth mentioning aside from, I guess, the number 23 with Jim Carrey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the only reason that one's even worth noting is the fact that after this film, he said he'd never work with Carrey again because they didn't get along, and then ended up doing number 23 years later.
You know what? Jim Carrey, I think, got on a few people's bad side during the production of this
Oh,
film.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine included.
Right.
He got on Alan's bad side during the production of this.
He and Tommy Lee Jones were not getting along apparently either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, this is a story that's been told a lot in podcasts and reviews I listen to, but this is the way I remember it. Apparently, like after filming or during filming, Jim Carrey went to a restaurant. Tommy Lee Jones was there, and Tommy Lee Jones walked up to him and gave him a hug. And while hugging him, he said into his ear, he said, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery," excuse me. He says, "I truly hate you." So that's what Tommy Lee Jones had to say to Jim
He
Carrey.
apparently also told him at one point that he didn't respect him as an actor and didn't like any of his movies. So,
Wow.
yeah, right.
Which is ironic because I hated Tommy Lee Jones in this movie just slightly a little less because he did the same ham BS wacky. It was just stupid. He did the same shit as Jim Carrey.
Yeah, you can't act like you're better than him on this
Yeah.
fucking production.
And he was apparently their first pick. And they wanted Jim Carrey so badly, they paid him $20 million to be in this film, which was by far, by a huge margin, like double or more, the record for an actor in a big film at that point.
Okay, so Jim Carrey got paid more money than any actor in history for any movie at that point in time.
Right. To do this.
For this.
Yeah.
I mean, Alan, can you describe his character in the film? Who does Jim Carrey play?
He plays Edward Nygma, and he's a scientist at Wayne Enterprises, or what's the division? It's just like Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some part of it.
Some arm of Wayne Enterprises. He's like a scientist, and he's manic. He's wacky. He talks to himself. He's extremely eccentric. He's conniving. He's all over the place, and Jim Carrey plays his like typical Jim Carrey role where everything he's super exaggerated. All his emotions are just stretched out, and it's so dumb.
Yeah, he's like a rubbery cartoon character
Yeah.
that is unlike any human you'll ever meet in your real life.
Edward Nygma, come on down! You're the next contestant on Rain Drain! Gee, I'll take what's inside. Thick skull number one. What have we got for him, Johnny? Stickly. I'm having a breakthrough. Can I break down? Maybe! Nevertheless, I'm smarter. I'm a genius. No, several geniuses. A gaggle, a swarm, a flock
See,
of
this is I'm gonna make a comparison. Jim Carrey is the opposite side of the coin of Will Smith. Both actors have done a couple of films in which they proved they were capable of doing more, but 80% of their career is them doing one character, one part. Ace Ventura, the Riddler, you know, like Carrey just did a lot of the same bit over and over again with slightly varying background and names.
Yeah, and he can act. I've seen it.
Right. But he's very astute, very intelligent. Like a lot of what he's been doing lately is really interesting. But yeah, he did a huge swath of the high point of his career was just him rehashing the same.
You mean him growing a beard and just like being crazy to reporters? You mean that shit?
Yeah, I mean he's doing a lot of like artwork. He's got his own show on HBO now. He's actually. I mean, you may or may not agree with what he has to say. I'll leave that to you to decide. But like, it is interesting, and I think he's more thoughtful than other would have otherwise maybe guessed.
I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about these days. Like, he's like, I'm not really here. I don't exist. It's like, what, bro? What does this mean?
Keep pulling a Jaden Smith on him.
Right. Times were simpler when he was married to Lauren Holly and just doing Dumb and Dumber movies.
And getting paid $20 million to be wacky.
Right.
Like, you got paid $20 million to just, like, act insane. That was, like, literally his job. Hey, act insane because your character's insane. Here's a lot of money to do it.
And he'd already been doing that bit for at least a decade because it was the same shtick he did on In Living Color in, like, 1988.
Yeah.
So, right.
Just do it in this, like, green suit.
Exactly. And then you got his counterpart, not counterpart, his I don't know, I don't want to call him a sidekick, but like his the other half of the villain duo.
It's like opposite.
Yeah, his opposite and the villain side is Tommy Lee Jones, who you said is just he's not doing shit here. He's just like cackling the whole time.
Yeah, that's that word. Yeah, it's such like a shitty cackling. He's just laughing and shooting things and saying like one or two lines at a time.
Yeah, he just has a big gun. He wears a stupid fucking suit. I don't like him. He's not good. What do you
Half
think,
his
Steve?
face is purple.
They care so little about this character. They give you a huge amount of background. Like you see the development of the Riddler from step one. Like that's a part of the arc during the first act of the film is how Edward became Riddler. Two-Face, there's like a 2-minute segment where it's like, yeah, he used to be the DA and he got shit thrown in his face. Now you're caught up.
Oh, I love it.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, like that's how little they cared. And he wasn't, if Burton had done the third film, he was eventually planning on having Billy D. Williams back as Two-Face, but not for this movie. Burton's third one was just going to be Riddler. And I'm fascinated just at the thought of what this movie would have turned out like if it had been Tim Burton's Riddler instead of this goofy masochistic bullshit.
I feel like the color green would have been a lot less prominent in his version.
Right?
This movie is so fucking green, isn't it?
Right, it is.
Yeah.
Picture the movie in your mind. The color green is there, isn't it?
It is. Even the neon lighting they've built into the front end of this new Batmobile
That shit?
kind of
Yeah.
goes green at least at one point. It might color shift, but during the scene when the Riddler destroys it, I'm pretty sure it's glowing green.
Well, let's talk about the Batmobile, because it's in the very beginning of the film.
Yes.
So we get a pretty strong start. We see Batman's dick. Oh, no, wait, no, his ass. We see Batman's ass. He puts on the suit. The suit, it's pretty similar to the Burton version. It's not bad. Do you guys have any thoughts on the bat suit for the very beginning of this movie? Or for the bulk of the movie, I should say?
It's impossible, I think, to do one perfectly. There has not been a perfect bat suit in any of the movies, even the good ones. Even the good ones, the suit had some small issues I can nitpick. But, like, this one looked clunkier. I think they were trying to make it more obvious that it's armored rather than just having it be matte black and like the assumption because bullets bounce off and stuff that it must be armored. I don't like it. I didn't like the way it looks. The most egregious thing though is the nipples. You know, all the costumes in Schumacher's Batman movies have nipples. I want to know whose creative decision that was. Did Schumacher want that? Did the person who designed them
Bro, you
want
know
it?
Schumacher wanted that.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I can't believe at no point during production somebody, producer, anyone didn't look at those costumes and go, hey, why do those have nipples?
Mr. Schumacher said leave them.
Right? It was the Schumacher asked for those specifically.
Well, the nipples are less pronounced in this than Batman and Robin, believe it or not.
It's true. They're less excited.
At the beginning, we see Batman suit up. He grabs a bunch of weapons, which kind of annoys me because you don't get to see him use that. You see him use the grappling gun, but you don't get to see him use all the shit he grabs all these gadgets, and you're like, what the fuck is that? What the
Right.
fuck is that? But he doesn't use them, so it doesn't matter.
Burton made such a good point of letting him use his gadgets. You get to see the grapple, you get to see the Batmobile armor and unarmor, you get to see the smoke bombs, you get to see the bat plane, the bat boat. Like, you get a lot of bat
Oh, we get the
action.
bat plane and the bat boat in this movie
Oh, that's true. But not in a satisfying way.
for about 30 seconds.
Right?
And they get battleshipped off? Like,
Right.
Is that what they're playing? Yeah.
Chris O'Donnell, the scene where which we'll get to, I know, but when he steals the Batmobile, he insisted that he be allowed to drive himself for the filming of that scene. And they said, no, we want he's a stunt driver. He insisted. They finally let him do it, and he hit a curb and damaged it.
Fucking moron.
I hope they took that out of his pay.
Right, me too.
Chris O'Donnell's all right. So in the beginning, there's a couple things I wrote down that are kind of funny. Basically, Batman's getting ready to go out and do Batman shit, fight Two-Face. And Alfred's like,
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
The VHS, at least one version of the VHS of the original '89 Tim Burton Batman had a promo. I think a promo for McDonald's.
It was McDonald's.
Yeah,
Where it
on
shows
it.
the Batmobile going through the drive-thru.
Yeah, and he goes through, but
Yeah.
like somehow, maybe it's just because I was a kid when that one came out, but like somehow that commercial is way more, like that's kind of an endearing thing. Like it's a shill thing, it's a McDonald's ad, but like it's endearing. And like this is just a stupid plug. This was just a dumb fucking plug.
I feel like I remember seeing that used in some fast food chains commercial.
Yeah.
That exact clip.
And you know what? I think they used the clip from this for a commercial that ran on TV. Yeah, and I would love to maybe insert audio for the if I can find the original clip on YouTube.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
Introducing McDonald's Superhero Burger. Tomatoes, crisp lettuce, the great taste of 2 cheeses melted over 3 beef patties on a superhero bun. It's McDonald's Taste of the Month. Everyone's making a break for.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
But yeah. So what do you guys think about that Batmobile?
Oh, that Batmobile sucks. Like, it has like the big floppy bat wings on the back. Like when he drives, like they flop around. Like,
Why does the back one flop so much? It's like a sad orca.
what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, it's terrible. The floppy wings that serve no purpose, and just like with most movies, you never see it go faster than like 40, but it always has like the jets flaming out the back.
Yeah,
and
it's
just,
got all
like,
this fire coming out, and it's
driving
just
down
like
the
fucking
street.
cruising in a school lane.
I think the design does, even though I prefer the Burton Batmobile, I think the design does a nice job of like incorporating the rocket engine. It looks less like something that's just sitting on top of another vehicle. But other than that, though, I couldn't say anything nice about it.
Yeah.
Also, there's never any cool like chase scenes. It's always just shots of like the back or like really short cuts of it just driving through alleys or just driving somewhere.
There's one scene that's supposed to be cool where he's getting chased by Two-Face and he's like rounding a corner and it's a dead end. So he like has it shoot like a big grappling hook from the Batmobile onto the top of a building and then it drives vertically up the building. That's pretty
90
good.
degrees, just
How do you get
straight
down?
up. Where did he go? Like, on
Yeah,
the
he
roof?
just went to space.
Yeah, you ended up on the roof of a building. How does the car get down from there? Like, that's a really good question.
They just kind of show that whole scene and leave it up and ended. Like he just got away.
My God, that really is dumb. Well, it's setting a tone.
Well, at the beginning, after all this shit with him suiting up, we see him like he like zip lines into like the scene of a crime where Two-Face is, well, he gets introduced and he's like doing some shit with the security guard that I don't understand. I think he's trying to lure Batman there.
Yeah, it seems like he's got the security guard hostage inside of something that he, like a bank vault that he has stolen, but that has also been rigged up to use as a bomb, I think.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
Right.
I don't fucking know.
Right?
My first problem with Two-Face, out of many, especially this one and Tommy Lee Jones, which is a problem in itself, is he's not superhuman. He has no superpowers. He's not physically strong. He just has a gun and cackles. Like, what is his power? How does he do this? Doesn't he get arrested or taken bound by... How does Batman not beat this guy who literally has nothing other than a gun?
He's
has
got
no
a
other
bunch of
powers.
guys. So there's
Our
that.
henchmen. And
He has
do
a
they fear
coin.
him? What is his power over them? He's just a guy with a gun and like a fucked up face.
Like a mafia boss, I guess.
Yeah,
You
he's
know.
just so not intimidating and not interesting. And
I like how he has
I
his
hate
gimmick though, right? So he has the Two-Face thing, right? We all know that. One half of him is purple and crazy. The other half of him is regular and not crazy, just like a lawyer, I
Even
guess.
though he never, like, the normal side never comes out. It's really just purple face the entire time.
Well, we see it at the very beginning. He's like normal for a second until he turns his face.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's at least they give you that. There's an instant reveal. There's no There's no like build up to it. There's no like, oh, we'll obscure his face in the shadows for the first few scenes you see him in before like there's a reveal at some point in the movie. Like they're like, nah, he's been on screen 6 seconds. That's good enough. Show them the face. Like,
Get to the face. Get to the face.
that's the selling point.
Also, that effect, it's a practical effects to just makeup, is awful. I hate
terrible.
it so much, dude. I swear, they just put like purple plastic or just the shittiest prop I've ever seen. They just painted purple on his face.
I didn't think
It
I
looks
could
terrible.
like the effect from Dark Knight any more than I already do. And that made me like it even more than I already did.
Yeah, it was just terrible. I couldn't. It was distracting because it was just so bad looking. Just covered his face with purple plastic.
It's supposed to be horrible. It has to be horrible. No one understood that apparently. Like if it isn't, the effect isn't the same. He just looks stupid.
Yeah, he looks goofy.
Like-
Like it doesn't look like disastrous or like scary. He just looks goofy.
I mean, you've talked about this earlier, but how he got the purple face, they show footage of it
Right.
in a courtroom. So he's like lawyering up in a courtroom. He's like, being the DA, and some mob boss that he's interrogating, Falcone, is that what they said?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be Falcone.
He throws acid at his face,
Yeah.
and Batman's in the courtroom watching the proceedings, presumably waiting for something to happen, and then he like jumps and tries to save him. But you know what's interesting, and I heard this in another podcast, I think The Weekly Planet, but Batman's just chilling out in the courtroom. He's
Yeah.
in the middle of the day, just watching.
Right.
Is that the scene where they show like the guy's face get blown off, or they make it like super graphic for that second?
Face
Am
get
I-
blown off? No, it's the
No.
acid though, and it's like,
Acid. What are we?
smoking
no,
or
like
whatever.
they show him like shoot someone, or doesn't he have a gun and he shoots like the guy, and they make it like super graphic for a second.
I don't know what you're talking
No?
about.
I told you not to drop E before we watched this movie.
No.
Like,
Is that just me, dude? No one noticed that?
I don't remember. I mean, maybe I just don't. There was there was a moment a few weeks ago where I forgot that James Woods was in Casino. So like,
You guys are making me think I'm
All
crazy
right.
now. I go, okay, well, keep going. I'll go
All
back
right,
to that.
so that's Two-Face. All right, well, you get to meet Chase Meridian. Now let's
For fuck's sake.
describe her character in detail.
Damn it! She's got one dimension. She's got one mood. She's got one demeanor. She's got virtually no purpose at all, other than to be the chick that Bruce is vaguely attracted to. Like her being there serves nothing story wise, really, other than that she gets taken at the end. I get the feeling that Schumacher wanted this to come off like a noir film, like a detective movie from the 30s, the kind of thing that'd be very grimy and probably filmed in black and white. Something like what Lawrence Kasdan did with Body Heat back in the late 80s. But except, unlike Body Heat, this was terrible. It doesn't come off. She's clumsy. The character's got no real motivation other than that she apparently wants to study all the freaks of Gotham. Like,
She wants to study and fuck him.
right, yeah. She's kind of like the sexual therapist. Which is basically, I mean, it's actually really not that dissimilar from Vicky. Vicky's motivation in the first Batman is really just to get photographs of Batman. Like, she's just been in a war zone and now she's looking for something different to do.
Yeah.
But, yeah, terrible character. Also, she sounds like a bank or a credit card. Like, there's a Chase Bank. I think the Meridian might be one of the credit cards they give out. Like, Chase Meridian.
Meridian? I think that is a
0%
credit card.
APR for the first 8 months. Reward points on all your gas. The Chase Meridian card.
Yeah.
Terrible name choice.
I feel like I'd get a letter in the mail saying I owe a bunch of money to them.
right? It could be a collection agency. That's even better,
I'm here to collect that bat dick.
She wants to have some bat babies.
So she wants Batman's dick. That's her thing.
Basically, yeah, and she wants to study the other bad guys in him. Yeah.
Well, I wish I could say that my interest in you was purely professional.
Are you trying to get under my cape, Doctor?
A girl can't live by psychoses alone.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
What is it about the wrong kind of man? In grade school, it was guys with earrings. College, motorcycles, leather jackets. Now, black rubber.
And Bruce Wayne is like seeing her because she's a psychiatrist. She's like helping out with Gotham PD's like cases on Harvey Dent. And I don't know what she's really doing. She just kind of stands around there and talks to Batman.
He never has a real session with her. They just kind of talk about stupid things that are unrelated for like 3 minutes at a time. That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Wayne just kind of shows up in her office and sees like she's got a little doll. He's like, "You got a doll?" She's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's a dream catcher." And they look at it like a Rorschach. He's like, "Kind of looks like a bat." She's
Right.
like, "Yeah, well, it's a Rorschach."
You see what you want to see.
That's about it.
Every one of their conversations is like awkward and like forced. Like you guys are just mentioning, it just feels not right and weird.
Right?
And they don't flow. It's just these awkward back and forth.
Sean Young and Harrison Ford hated each other so much. They got into physical altercations with each other on the set of Blade Runner. And they still managed to completely erase it from the performances they gave on film. If I didn't know that, I never would have thought it. But it's true. And one of the most intimate scenes of the entire film was shot less than 5 minutes after they'd literally been physically fighting with each other. And they pulled it off. In this film, as far as I know, Val Kilmer and Nicole Kidman, as far as I'm aware, they got along. But they performed as if they couldn't stand being near each other. It was obnoxious.
Yeah, it was cold. There was no chemistry. They would do like awkward pauses, and it was just weird.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I guess back to the Two-Face trap. He tries to set up a trap for Batman at the beginning that has a big safe. He throws like a bank security guard in there, and then he like attaches it with some cables to like a helicopter or to something, and Batman jumps in the safe to rescue him, right?
Yeah.
But inside the safe is boiling acid.
Boiling acid.
That the security guard has to point out because he somehow knows.
Right.
He specifically says, "Oh no, boiling acid." Like he knew what that was.
Either one of those two things is enough by itself. If you submerge a human being body whole, including the head, in actually boiling water, they'll die. You don't need it to be acid. Like,
Yeah, I mean, just have acid or boiling water. Like,
right?
And
One
it
or
was,
the other.
It was boiling acid that somehow gave off no like vapor, or, like
Right.
not smoke. But it's supposed if it's boiling, it's supposed to evaporate.
Do you know why he said it's boiling acid? Because otherwise we would have just thought it was water.
Right.
Which I guess is enough too, because they're filling up this thing with just regular water. They'll drown.
Yeah, even that's perfect. It doesn't need to be boiled. It doesn't need to be acid. It could just have been water.
It
The
feels like-
easiest of all of those things to get.
It feels like something they just like threw together in a meeting. He's like, "Oh, it should be something dangerous." Okay, how about acid? No, how about boiling acid?
Right?
No, I feel like they started at water, and then boiling water, and then acid, and then boiling acid. And then they high-fived at the end.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Batman gets out of there, of course. I don't remember how. Anyone?
Oh, yeah, he, how does he manage to do
Oh, you
that?
know, he steals the guy's hearing
Yeah,
aid.
exactly. And then he uses it
Opens
like a
the-
magnet to undo the lock from the inside. But
Yeah.
then he leaves the security guard inside of it with the boiling acid and like anchors it to a building while he goes and does other shit. Like, don't you think you should get him out?
No, the security guard like is like on top of it or something.
Does he get him on top of
Yeah,
it? Oh.
somehow.
I love how you can like push the vault open too. Isn't that
Oh, yeah, it's
like
hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, hundreds of pounds. He just kind of just like opens it like a hatch. Like, oh, we're free.
Pretty fucking strong, this
Yeah.
guy.
Right.
I mean, Batman's strong, but come on, he's not that strong.
He's not Tom Hardy Bane strong.
Right.
All right, so we get introduced to the guy we talked about already a little bit, Edward Nygma. He is, as Alan described, but his whole motivation in this is his invention. Which one of you guys wants to tell me about his invention?
Okay, I'll try because it makes no sense, and I'm probably gonna get it wrong. His invention looks like a blender. That's the first thing I thought of, and I can't stop
Yeah,
thinking.
no, he pulls it out. This is my invention. That's just a fucking blender. We already have
Blender
it.
They wrap like neon lights around and like attach these like plastic fins to. I swear to God, if you probably looked at that thing, it was a blender they just like added stuff to.
Well, the first one definitely was a blender. It had a handle on the side, so I'm sure it was a blender.
There's a robot on the Jawa's transporter in episode 4 when C-3PO gets brought aboard and he comes conscious.
Yeah,
and
the
he's looking around.
sandcrawler.
Yeah, he's in the sandcrawler, and for a moment, the shot pans across, and you see the other androids that are in there with him. One of them is literally just a trash can with little mechanical.
Hey,
feet
that's
on
a
it.
fucking gonk droid.
Right,
Okay,
there you go.
It's a-
Absolutely, it's a gonk droid.
that's there to provide power. It's like basically a walking generator.
Yeah, but in real life, it's a trash can, and you can tell.
Well, so no, Batman Forever is better than that because it's a blender. It's not a trash can.
No, nothing about this movie is better than anything in Star Wars. All right, even Jar Jar is better than this.
Wow, a bold statement. You are a bold one.
Look, I would drown Jar Jar with my own bare hands if he were real and I'd get to him, but still.
You can't drown him. He's a Gungan.
Oh, that's true. Well, I'm going to drop him in boiling acid. Apparently, that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
The Jar Jar Batman crossover.
Oh, man. Boy, you just get Joel Schumacher and George Lucas in the same room and see what happens. Something terrible.
Nothing good. Nothing good can come of it.
This- I
What
never
else can
asked
you
for
tell
this.
me about Mr. Enigma's invention?
Okay, so his blender-looking device is supposed to attach to the wearer's or the user's head like a helmet, and it can beam and it can transmit and receive like brainwave signals. So you can see what someone else is thinking and get information from them, but you can also show them stuff which would appear to them like real life because it's going right into their brain. So it's basically like a gateway to someone's like mind.
Yes. The way he describes it is it puts the watcher in the program that they're watching. So like it's supposed to be like a 3D TV. They even at some points in the film call it a 3D TV, but it's a little bit more interactive than that. It's like you're supposed to be in the show, sort of. And what he finds is an interesting side effect, as he describes it, is that it transmits the person's like brainwave and transmits their brainwaves into his helmet or his head, and it makes him smarter.
Yeah, he gets like their knowledge.
Yeah, and I don't know if he like learns necessarily the things that they already know or how that works, but he says specifically that he has become smarter after the first time he does it on his boss. Right? Now, do you guys get any indication that after all these people are doing this and they're transmitting him their brainwaves that he's like this super smart dude?
No, they don't do anything to reinforce that at all. I mean, best case scenario, he remains exactly the same.
Yeah, and when you put it like that, that was the whole point. He should be getting smarter and more powerful and like
He should be
more-
outsmarting anyone
them.
against him at every turn, but like he just kind of like tricks Bruce Wayne into his machine. He doesn't really use his intelligence. Like he gets Chase Meridian and Robin at the end into like this little death trap, but I mean every villain does that. Like how is he so smart, you know?
He's not. When you put it like that, they don't use it at all.
Yeah. Well, his whole thing is he's obsessed with Bruce Wayne as well. So that's his other whatever quirk. He's obsessed with his boss, Bruce Wayne. He tries to pitch him this helmet shit, this blender helmet. And Bruce Wayne is like, nah, that sounds fucked up. Let's not do that. And then I don't know, he turns into a supervillain.
Do they ever explain why he's so obsessed with Bruce Wayne?
I don't think they do explain it necessarily.
They don't. Now that you mention that, because they make it a point, and he even says, he's like, yeah, I'm like super obsessed with you, but they don't say why.
He just is, bro.
He just is.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's a great feature of the movie. Just don't ask questions.
Well, he kills his boss, turns into a supervillain, and starts doing his thing.
All because Bruce rejected his idea.
Yeah. And then he that's right. He starts leaving those like Riddler riddles on his like house and in his office and stuff. Steve, do you want to tell us about the riddles that he leaves?
They hired the famous I don't know, I can't even remember what to call him. It was like the quiz master, I think. The guy who creates the riddles for like the New York Times puzzle section. They hired him to create the riddles that Riddler hands out or leaves around during the course of the film. Which I thought was kind of an interesting touch. Not that it really seemed to make them any better. But he leaves clues throughout that, to be honest, like I've never understood what his motivation is supposed to be.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Why does he do this?
He basically just like constantly leaves clues for Bruce to allow Bruce to discover what he's doing. and he, at least for most of the movie, isn't aware that Bruce is Batman. So he's doing this really just because he thinks he's being antagonistic to the boss who didn't listen to him. But it's like, why would you tell your ex-boss that you're intending to steal people's intelligence? Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of a motiveless touch. I mean, the Riddler, much like Joker leaving Joker cards, the Riddler, at least in the comics, did enjoy kind of fucking with Batman's head, and he'd leave little riddles about stuff that he was up to. But there was, I mean, the motivation, I guess, was, I guess it's implied here, I guess maybe that's what it is, that the motivation is just to screw with Batman.
Yeah.
Tease him. But, yeah, and it doesn't come off right. No.
No.
I hated how Bruce rejected his idea. He talked to him about it, and he rejected the idea. And then throughout the movie, it takes him all the way to the end, and he solves this like crazy cryptic puzzle with these riddles to realize it's Edward Nygma. It's like, yo, you're the one who rejected his idea first. Like, you saw what this guy is doing. Yeah, and then he can't figure it out till the very end. He's
the
like,
world's
oh, it's him.
greatest detective.
Yeah.
Even to the point where he shows up at Nygma's, I guess that's when it finally takes him. He shows up at Nygma's like release party when he's trying to sell it to people. He's like, oh, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't know?
Well, we have a couple more characters to meet, and I guess we could set up the stage a little bit. So Bruce Wayne and Chase Meridian Bank go to a circus, which is kind of like Cirque du Soleil, kind of, but a little bit gayer.
Right. Less interesting, not as well put together,
Well, I just mean there's like huge buff dudes and like loincloths, like banging drums and shit,
In a movie where the batsuit has a codpiece and nipples? You don't say. Huh.
Gotta get that Schumacher influence.
They have the red carpet to the circus because it's like the biggest event in town.
Yeah, it is pretty popular, isn't it?
Yeah, they have the cameras and the whole press is there.
It's like a black tie event.
Yeah.
It's a good thing they didn't make the Batmobile look like a sex toy. Otherwise, this movie might come off as a little flamboyant.
So the circus has the Flying Graysons, which are a family that does like trapeze. Am I describing that right? They're trapeze artists? Yeah.
Performers, stylists, yeah.
So they're up there doing their thing. Tommy Lee Jones shows up, Two-Face, and he has a gun. He takes over.
Just like I said, this guy has a gun. That's his power.
Yeah.
He has a gun.
Fuck, a guy with a gun.
Right, oh my god.
He has this huge bomb, and he's like, unless you guys tell me who Batman is, which no one knows, I'm going to blow everyone up. But Bruce Wayne is there, and he's like, oh, fuck. And he just shouts, I'm Batman. It's me.
Yeah, I love that part, because he just he's supposed to be super secret, and he's just like, fuck it. He's like, I'm Batman.
This guy has a bomb.
I think it's supposed to be that bold moment where it's like, oh, he's willing to sacrifice himself, but he also sits there saying nothing until the auditorium or the tent is clearly too noisy for him to be heard. Like, where were you to say this when someone could have heard you say it?
Well, I feel like Chase Meridian Bank should have heard him. Right, she was right next to him.
She was right next to him.
Or somebody.
But she was out of the frame, so I guess she couldn't hear him when he said it. Because she wasn't in the shot.
Out of frame's too far away to hear a person.
Nobody around him heard that. I mean, he shouted it. He was like, oh, Batman.
Imagine if they just panned over slightly and all the people next to him are looking at him crazy, like, what? Right. It's fucking Bruce Wayne.
Harvey, I'm Batman.
I also love the Joker's stupid cliche.
The Joker?
Or the Joker.
Don't put the Joker in this mess.
You mean the Joker impersonator, Tommy Lee Jones?
Tommy Lee Jones, yeah. Joker, Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face, same stupid character. But his bomb, it's like the stupid round with the fuse. It's like such a comic book looking dumbass bomb.
Yeah, it's like a big orb.
Yeah. The black thing with the fuse. Like, you couldn't think of any other ideas. Like, just make it like a bomb.
It's like a fucking Legend of Zelda bomb.
Yeah.
Or like Bomberman.
Yeah, it's big and look, it's a bomb.
Oh.
Fuck your stupid lame ass bomb. No one's gonna be scared by that bullshit.
Right. I think Schumacher thought that he was camping the movie up to feel more like the Adam West show from the 60s. And
well, in some levels he did.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, it's on all the levels that made that show unwatchably stupid. But
yeah, I don't like that show, man.
I've never been a fan either.
Yeah, I've tried to watch it before.
Right? No, Burt Ward's a dick.
What about this dick? So,
Put that away, Corey.
oh, excuse me. What about Robin?
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, Dick. That's right. Dickie Grayson.
Master Dick.
So
Dick.
we get to meet 13-year-old Boy Wonder, played by a 35-year-old man.
Oh, yeah, dude, come on. There's no way. You're basically middle-aged at this point.
This guy stops the bomb, but his whole family gets killed by Two-Face, I guess.
Through Two-Face's actions.
Well, in another feat of incredible strength, Robin stops the bomb by like lifting it out of the building and like throwing it
That's right. He lifts it up like a ladder chute, like a narrow, like
a hole in the ceiling.
a manhole cover.
Yeah.
Like he like somehow. How does he do that?
He like pushes it.
He must be
out.
going up the ladder and like holding it above his head like a shoulder press. Like
Right.
And he like tosses it into the water. Another feat of strength.
yeah, he's pretty fucking strong. Like this guy should become a superhero.
Dick the hero.
He does karate laundry.
Corey does. That's how you know he's a badass.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess to set up that, I mean, his family's dead, whatever, who cares? He goes to Wayne Manor with Commissioner Gordon, and Commissioner Gordon's like, maybe you could look after this lost kid. This clearly 35-year-old man driving a Harley.
Right. This youngin' can't handle the outside world.
He's like, we don't want him to get, like, in the system. Like, no one will adopt him. He's too old.
Right? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
There'll be a lot of paperwork. Maybe you could just watch him. You got a lot of rooms.
He's old enough to be my younger brother. He can go to bars.
And Bruce Wayne isn't like, I don't know, like, I got kind of a lot going on here. I can't really just have people that I don't know in the house. He's like, all right, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? It's not like he could break into the Batcave.
Right.
It's not like multiple people can break into the Batcave in this film.
Yeah, I mean, basically anyone that wants to can just waltz into the Batcave. You want to see the Batcave?
It's the meme with Ron Howard when he's like, he can't break into the Batcave. He
did.
does.
So he does karate laundry, which is how you know he's a badass. We haven't seen him do any martial arts up until like the point when he's at Wayne Manor.
Do you not karate your laundry?
I do.
How do you get your clothes dry?
Yeah.
I
I don't know how to describe it. He takes out his shirt and he like uses it as like nunchucks, and then he like hangs it up,
Right.
and then he like kicks his pants up there, and then I don't know fucking
All
know.
the moves like somehow like serve some kind of function. Like it folds perfectly when he flips it.
Yeah.
Like everything just kind of falls into place because he's doing all the right moves. And,
He
like,
uses the like mop like a bow staff, and he like mops the floor.
Look, I'm a third-degree black belt in art I learned from an 80s video cassette.
How about the Power Rangers karate cassette? Do you have that?
Oh, yeah.
The Green Ranger one? I had that shit.
Just what little kids need is an unsupervised way to be taught to harm other people. Here's what you do to your classmate and siblings, kids.
So a little bit later, we see Two-Face's lair. Alan, do you want to tell us about Two-Face's secret lair?
his secret lair, which represents the whole Two-Face mentality, and just like his face it's split right down the middle, with one side being light and the other side being dark. And then he has two
He has two chicks.
I'll say girlfriends, whatever they are, two fucking women. And they're like one light and one dark, and one's supposed to be
One's like a goth
innocent.
metalhead, and
Yeah.
one's like a pin-up, like I don't.
And she's dressed in white.
One's Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be like the other side, and I hate how he's drinking. Out of everything, I hated how he's drinking two glasses. He's drinking two different drinks, like out of both sides of his mouth, and it looks so dumb. Out of everything, that bugged me the most.
If you're a supervillain's live-in girlfriend and you've got to prepare meals for him regularly, where do you go to get your groceries?
Well, one of them just cooked like a fucking pig, like it was like a full pig, just like
true.
roasted.
Maybe she
'cause
just
that
did
was-
the whole thing there, raised it, slaughtered it. Just
Yeah, they got a little
queued that
farm in
pig
the
up.
back.
Right. She's
That
like,
was
I don't
the
need a
dark
fucking
side.
butcher. I know what I'm doing. Like,
What does he say? Drinks like Sterno?
oh, yeah, he does drink Sterno or something, which will just immediately kill you.
Oh yeah, she got his favorite drink or something.
You can't kill this guy. He has a gun.
Oh, clearly. He's half purple.
He has a gun. Gotham's biggest supervillain. since the Penguin, this guy has a fucking gun.
Got one gun.
Yeah, that's it. No other powers. He's nothing. He's just a normal guy.
He's got a
not
coin.
Give him what he
the
wants,
coin.
everybody. He's got a gun and a coin.
He's got a coin that he flips to like make a decision. So like that's his like split, his duality.
Right.
So if he's gonna like kill you or let you go, he flips a coin. Heads you live, tails you die.
mean-
Except if it's not his desired result, he'll just keep flipping it until he gets what he wants.
Yeah, it would makes it pointless. Like at least the character in No Country for Old Men actually honored the coin flip, but sometimes. But yeah, I don't know, whatever. I don't remember what I was gonna say, but it wasn't gonna be nice.
Yeah, the coin thing is stupid. They never explain or dwell on it, on like why that's important or how it works. Like you just kind of like, oh, he flips this coin.
Duality.
They barely mention it, and it's just
Duality.
stupid. That's it. Oh wow, okay.
Do you get it, Dallin, though? Because it's like because there's two sides. Wait, do you get it though? Wait, do you
Hold
get
on,
it?
you might have to say it.
Hold on. All right, so a coin has two sides. There's like two. Okay.
There's two sides.
Duo 2.
We fucking get it, god damn it. Enough of this horse shit. Just about when you're fed up with all this stupid shit going on, this fucking moron, the Riddler, walks in the room.
I simply love what you've done with this place. Heavy metal meets house and garden. Beautiful. It's so dark and gothic and disgustingly decadent. Yet so bright and chipper and conservative. It's so you, and yet so you.
How can we make this worse?
So he's finally all like Riddler garbed out. He saw on TV the Two-Face show up to the circus with a gun and was like, I'm really impressed by this guy. I'm going to find a secret lair and strike a deal with him. And his deal is like, help me steal a bunch of money so I can get my like TV project off the ground.
Right.
So I can just start a business basically.
If his lair is that easy to find, does Gotham not have a SWAT team? It doesn't seem like Batman's even necessary here. Like Riddler just kind of found this place.
No, it's just fucking Commissioner Gordon in his pajamas fucking
Right.
wandering around.
There's like 3 patrol cops. They're busy writing tickets to people for jaywalking. So like no one does anything. I mean, if Gotham had a SWAT team and this place is that easy to find, you just raid it. You're done. It's over. Whole move. Thank you.
Wait
I'm
a minute.
going
What if
over.
they showed up and then they found that this guy has a gun?
Oh, well, he's got the one gun, so I guess a bunch of armored guys with automatic weapons couldn't possibly handle that. What you really need is a guy who carries a batarang in that situation and who won't, like, kill people.
Yeah, that cancels each other out. This guy has a batarang. This guy has a gun.
Right. Oh, God.
So the Riddler says, all right, you want to make a deal? Let's do this. And Two-Face is like, well, we'll flip for it. And he flips, and then it cuts to them robbing banks. So obviously,
Yeah.
it landed in his favor.
With their stupid, that word, you nailed it perfectly, cackling. It's just them, just the stupid ham-assed cackled laugh, and Tommy Lee Jones just like shooting shit indiscriminately. And it's just so dumb. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
100,220, 100 I lost count!
It's pretty fucking weak.
Yeah.
They like steal diamonds. They go to a bank and they punch security guards, which I guess is funny, except it's not funny.
Yeah, and it's just dumb.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dumb, we have our boy Dick here.
He is a dick.
He's living at Wayne Manor. Fucking, I don't know what he's doing. Karate laundry. Whatever he does, it has karate probably, but they just show the laundry. Anyway, he breaks into the Batcave. There's like a secret room that Alfred goes in, and he's like, hey, what's in that room? And he's like, oh, fucking...
It's the silver closet.
It's Bruce Wayne's dead wives, so you don't want to ever go in there ever. Never do it. And he's like, oh, okay. So he goes in there. What does he find? The Batcave. So obviously he steals the Batmobile and goes on a joyride. And it's pretty great what he does, actually, because he goes to, like, what I assume is downtown Gotham, and he just goes looking for hookers.
Going for a little ride on my love, my chin, baby.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking great. Like, he just pulls over to some hookers. And he's like, hey, what's up, ladies? I'm fucking Batman. Like, you're not Batman, though, because Batman wears a black suit and he has, like, the pointy ears. And he's like, no, I am Batman. I'm just not wearing the suit. And they're like, no, Batman has a suit, though. You're a guy without a suit, so you're obviously not Batman, even though you have his car.
Batman's also much bigger and stronger.
So he then saves a young lady.
He does save a young lady. How would you describe, Alan, the street toughs in Gotham?
This is street stuff.
I would use one word, and that word
Swashbuckler.
is swashbuckler and rave. It looks like everyone there is in a rave.
Yes. Now, maybe they all got back from a rave. And normally they're all wearing leather jackets or something.
Let's not disparage raves. The raves aren't the problem.
It's this movie.
It's the rave attendees.
Leave the rave out of this.
Yeah, you leave that rave out of this. I was at that rave.
I know you're a huge raver. But
But no, this goes into what you guys mentioned with the neon and the colors and the whole like atmosphere of it.
yeah, I mean, the back alleys of Gotham are all black lit somehow. There are black lights everywhere, no street lights, all just black lights. They got neon face paint of skeletons. They don't use any guns or knives. They have like glow sticks, but they're big glow sticks.
Have you never seen that 6 straight blocks in downtown LA that's all lit with black light? I mean, where have you been?
Yeah, you never want to drive a Batmobile into that area. The street toughs will get you.
Oh, you know what? That's why I keep getting carjacked with my Batmobiles. Like,
Just going for a little ride in my love machine.
well, sir, you're in the black light district, so I'm sorry we're going to be stealing this Batmobile.
Oh my god, the black light district of Gotham. That's what it is.
There is the slightest bit of continuity because Tommy Lee Jones is the only person who has a gun. All the regular gangsters don't have guns or knives.
Yeah.
They have
That's
glow
why he's
sticks.
in charge.
Yeah, that's why he's in charge.
He's like,
He
oh,
has
that
the
one's
gun.
got the gun.
This is what would happen if guns were banned. There would be one Tommy Lee Jones motherfucker that would show up with a purple face and a gun.
This is what the NRA's been warning us about. Do you guys want Two-Face to take over? No, let me have my guns.
What about when the one guy has a gun and all we have is glow sticks? What do now?
Start veneer faces with like skeleton paint.
Go to a rave. That's what I'm going to do.
This dystopian future.
You can have it. I'm raving.
Look what will become of the gangs. They'll all just be a sad fucking version of
Will
themselves.
somebody please think of the gangs?
Oh my god.
Robin ends up fighting how many? He fights like how many guys?
He fights
So
like
many
10
of them?
guys.
Yeah.
And then they call in more guys. Like, they have a bunch of guys like hanging in like off the sides of buildings or something. Because when he kicks the main guy's ass, the guy like does like a clap, and then even more guys show up. Yeah, they just
The
come
reinforcements. Yeah.
out of the sky. Which Batman also shows up out of the sky. Somehow he found Robin. He knew he would go to the fucking blacklight district. He saw the look in his eye.
I know what that kid's up to.
I knew you were going to come down here and look for blacklight hookers.
I mean, why does Robin even live with him at this point? He's a fucking grown man. Oh,
Just stole his car.
Why does someone who's old enough to be looking for hookers need a guardian? Like, once you're out at midnight looking for hookers, you're good. You can take care of yourself.
the reason Bruce Wayne has a ward in this film makes no fucking sense. And like he doesn't even want to stay there. Actually, I think he even says at the beginning, he's like, I don't need to live here. I'm like, I'll go by myself. I'll be fine.
Yeah,
and then
right.
Bruce Wayne's like, well, you know, if you fixed up a motorcycle, or if someone fixed up this bike, someone could have it. But I guess you don't want to. Okay, we have all this food, but I guess we'll just throw it away to the dogs.
Yeah, right.
I did actually like that part when he punked him pretty good. Out of the whole movie, that was the one, like 15-second part where he just punks him like that. Yeah.
It's pretty great. So anyway, Robin's like, you know, it's your fault. My parents are dead. You got to train me to become Nightwing. I think he even literally says, I want to be called Nightwing.
Yeah. He says I want to be called Nightwing, so reference to the character in the comics, the Dick Grayson. But
Yeah, Batman says no, and he refuses to do it.
I wish they hadn't killed Jason Todd in the comics, and instead they'd killed Dick Grayson in this movie.
He could trade.
We make a trade.
I don't know. The Death in the Family is pretty good. I like
It's
it.
an amazing, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fuck, dude.
So let's not take that away.
No, I don't want to take that away.
Next, we have Nigma's Big Party. So his company is huge, and he's having like, I don't know, some kind of like new demonstration of his new product. I don't really know what it is. It's like you go in a room, and it's like a holodeck, I guess.
Yeah, I think the market of the part of this device that he's marketing is that it basically 3D beams TV to your brain, right? So he's just like showing it off for people.
Except it's not like a TV show. It's just like whatever fantasy you have.
Yeah.
So you go in this guy goes in a room, and it takes a second, then it applies his fantasy, which is like some women give him like, they come up and they hand him like drinks. Like he just wants to get drunk.
Yeah.
That's
Like, sure, you can do that in real life.
Yeah,
Would you like to go to the bar?
You're fine, but he's wearing like, like he's like wearing a Hawaiian shirt now. Okay,
He's
great.
eating like a Paradise Island.
Yeah,
eating
okay.
drinks.
Oh man, instead of getting drunk on my couch, I'm getting drunk at a bar on the beach. Great.
Oh man, how good life could be, right?
Right. I could be getting drunk somewhere else.
Think about it.
Yeah, right.
The possibilities are limitless. So a woman goes in, and it takes a second. It applies her fantasy, and she just has a bunch of jewelry. It's like, oh, okay. She just wants some jewelry. All right. But what's the point if it's not real? Like, why would you want it if it's not? You just want to wear it? You don't want it for its monetary value, or what?
You saying women don't buy VR headsets just to fantasize about wearing lots of jewelry? What are they using them for? Like,
You get the wear jewelry VR game?
yeah. What else do you do with it if you're a woman?
Probably is a game somewhere.
There's probably a lot of games I don't need to know about, many of which are hentai
There
games,
absolutely
but-
are, dude. Jesus
What's
Christ.
pretty funny about this party is Bruce Wayne's there, and Edward Nygma. I don't know if you guys caught this because it's kind of subtle. They're both wearing tuxes. But Edward Nygma has his hair exactly like Bruce. He has the same exact glasses as Bruce, and he has a fake mole on his face in the same spot that Val Kilmer has.
I did not notice that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he puts on the glasses at the same exact moment Bruce puts them on, and he takes them off right when Bruce takes them off.
That's great.
Like, he's still, like, worshiping this guy.
Apparently the two of them got along quite well. Val Kilmer and Jim Carrey. They liked each other.
On the set, really?
Yeah.
Someone like Jim Carrey on the set?
Yeah, exactly. One person.
I find that hard to believe.
Tommy Lee Jones and the director didn't. It's funny. Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey hated each other. Joel Schumacher and Jim Carrey hated each other. Schumacher hated Kilmer because he thought Kilmer was being difficult, but Kilmer and Carrey got along. Those
Fuck is
two.
this complicated high school
Right.
drama bullshit?
Soap opera, man.
Yeah. Who's sleeping with who?
Well, did Drew Barrymore get along with anyone?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I mean, maybe somebody.
I mean, her character's at the party. Do you guys know her character name?
I have no idea.
Sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the other one Spice? It can't be that on the
oh,
nose.
no,
like,
it might
'cause I-
be.
'cause I
Oh, we
looked it
can't.
up.
We can't have that.
I
Don't.
honestly didn't know, but if I look it up, I think it was Sugar. Yeah,
Well, Sugar.
It's
Oh,
Sugar.
God. All right. Well, Sugar's there, and she kind of like tricks Bruce Wayne in a way into going into the machine. He wants to go into this like holodeck machine and like just check it out, but at first he like takes out like the key piece, but then she just like puts it back in when he's in there.
The key piece being a glow stick.
Yeah, it's a glow stick, of course. Yeah.
It literally, I swear to God, it really looks like it is just like a glow stick.
Yeah, it's a glow stick.
Yeah.
And then she has like a teddy bear with an extra glow stick, and she like pulls it out of its ass, and she puts it in the thing.
That small part actually caught me off guard because I thought he was going to get in there undetected, but then when it shows her doing that, I thought that was kind of slow.
No, that would be more like something Batman would do. This is not that movie, my friend.
Ugh.
No, he's gonna be bested by Drew Barrymore for sure.
I
The
just
best
wanna,
detective.
I want to ask you guys real quick so that I'm sure. You can't power things with glow sticks, right?
No, they're also not viable weapons in case you ever get in a fight.
Oh, well, that's good to know. That
Yeah.
you know it from my superhero career. Okay.
The two things I learned from Batman Forever.
Right? Cannot use glow sticks as batteries. Okay, got it.
So at this point in the party, Two-Face shows up, starts shooting up the place. Edward Nygma goes up to him and he's like, you can't be doing this to my parties, man. Can't just be showing up with your gun, waving it around like it's your extra cock.
You brought the Gotham gun to my party. How dare you, sir?
With your fucking gun.
Quick note that his henchmen, they show it earlier too. They have the Tommy guns, and of course, for no reason, the Tommy guns have like this like swirl of neon
Yeah.
lighting on them,
Yeah, they have some neon lights.
just to be bullshit, like you guys mentioned. It's just, no reason, and they have the neon lights on all their guns.
Yeah, what is the fucking point? Just to be bullshit. That's a good explanation.
Two-Face in this movie is kind of a weird. This is another one. Like he uses Chase Meridian as kind of a noir character. He's got Two-Face being an almost like 1930s gangster. Like he's got the hair parted right down the middle and the kind of funny way of speaking and the Tommy gun gang and like he's like a 30s era gangster. It's weird.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, without any, I guess.
He's got sort of a zoot suit, you know.
Yeah. All right. I mean, you're right. It's like they're trying to do one thing, but also trying to do this other thing. I just don't think they mesh well.
No, they don't. I agree with you. Like they're trying to do that. They were also trying to be kind of throwbacky to the '60s series, I think, and yeah.
So we got this neon '60s, '30s, 1995.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
movie.
It's like this weird like combination of things.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's exactly.
And at the end of the day, everyone sees this movie and says, "What is this?"
Right? Oh, it's a mishmash of things that don't work together.
Right.
Like, I think maybe he was clever enough to notice that like we've been talking about, where Gotham kind of takes place in every time and no time. Like it's current, but it isn't, and it's in the past, but it's also not. Like they have everything, just nothing's quite really dateable in the world of Gotham.
Yeah, and I think that's done a little bit better in the Burton films.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a lot better. But yeah.
Right.
I love that. A little better. Maybe a lot better. It was a lot better, yeah.
Well,
Right.
when I picture Gotham in my mind, especially Batman Returns Gotham, it's a very specific look.
Yeah.
When I think of this movie, I think of green and like fucking neon, and like, you know.
The man who designed Gotham for the first two, for Burton films, very talented, I believe, killed himself after the production of the second film, and was obviously therefore not involved with the third one. I think that contributed a lot to.
Oh, that's
losing
too bad.
that.
Do you know his name?
I'm gonna have to pull it up. Like I should. I've known it. He did a lot of other famous movies.
Well, I'll talk to Alan in the meantime.
Okay.
So, Alan, we'll see if you remember this part here. It's pretty good.
Okay.
So, Batman shows up because, well, Bruce Wayne was there the whole time, but he
Yeah.
gets in his Batman suit and he takes off chasing the Two-Face guy, and he falls into like a tube. Do you remember how that happens? He like falls in this like tube thing, and then like they've just dumped some sand on him.
Oh yeah, the tube. He's chasing him, and then he just jumps down like this like manhole, because that's where he went, and then his henchmen just set up like some tubing to like trap him.
Yeah, and he
Like,
slides down
yeah,
the
he
tube.
just slides right down into their trap. It's such a shitty. Like, all they do is just set up the tube to trap him.
And like Two-Face shoots a rocket at him, but it doesn't like hit him. It hits something, and a bunch of sand pours on him.
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
like he's done. Like that's it. They get out of there, and Batman's like trapped under the sand.
Yeah, because Two-Face can't shoot Batman. He has to shoot some stuff around him, where he can't just stop fucking around. Like, just shoot Batman. You had him. He's like, no, I'm gonna shoot the sand, 20 feet to his right or whatever.
I think he tried, but he launched a rocket or something.
I think he had like a shotgun or like a machine gun. He had a
Oh,
bigger
okay.
gun.
Anyway,
Yeah.
he's trapped under the sand,
Yeah.
but he gets saved by his 13-year-old boy wonder ward, Dick Grayson. Dick
And-
Grayson shows up and like pulls him out of the sand.
Of course, when he shows up, he's hanging by like his legs, like a trapeze kind of thing.
Yes.
He has to rescue him. Like, that's what he does. Look, he's a trapeze guy.
He's using his skills.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
He's doing karate laundry, rescuing Batman.
So I think it was Anton something. Anton First was this guy's name. He was English. He was born in England. He did a handful of other movies, including Full Metal Jacket. He won an Academy Award for designing the Gotham for the first Batman. He actually won an Academy Award for that. He was taking a drug called Halcyon, gave him amnesia, paranoia, and depression, was drinking on top of it. And one night in 1991, he told his friends he was going to his car to fetch cigarettes. Instead, he jumped off the top of an 8-story parking structure.
Jesus.
Yeah. So really, really sad stuff. He's a super talented guy.
Fucking A, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so is this the scene where he has they're in the water? And is this where they're playing Battleship?
No, not quite yet. Well, we get a few things before that. We'll touch on that in just a moment.
Okay.
Couple key things. Bruce Wayne at this point, back in the Batcave, He decides to quit. It's like, I'm not being Batman anymore. I'm not doing it. Now, I rewound this scene so I could understand his reasoning. But I never did. I never understood it. I'll input it here.
So, from this day on, Batman is no more.
You can't just quit. I mean, there's monsters out there. Batman has to protect the innocent.
I've dedicated my life to helping strangers I've never met. Faces I've never seen. Well, the innocent aren't faceless anymore.
You can't tell me what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. Look, my dad told me that every man goes his own way. Well, my way goes to Two-Face. You gotta help me.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe he said it and I just don't remember now, but yeah, he's quitting.
No, it makes no sense, and it's way out of character. Bruce is an obsessive compulsive person. Like, if at the core of that character, he's an obsessive compulsive person, and Batman is at the core of that obsession, he would never give it up. It's going to take getting old enough to the point where he's just too frail to be able to actually do it anymore, or dying to get him to give it up. And that's like, I mean, that's the beauty of The Dark Knight Returns, the graphic novel. You know, is he's what, in his fucking 60s or 70s at that point in the future in the storyline, and he's still banging it out. He's using armor to help him. You know, he's got all this assist gear so that he can keep on doing it. He's finally accepted the fact he needs to show someone else how to do it.
Now, wait a minute. Doesn't he give up being Batman in The Dark Knight? I thought there's a point there where he gives up.
Yeah, I mean, there is, in that, that's one of the things I go back and forth about Nolan's films, but at least there was some point to it. Like, in doing this, I'm taking a role that, like, a necessary part for something to happen. It wasn't just like, I'm done with this.
I just don't like doing it.
I think it was in The Dark Knight Rises, and it was that he retired because, like, there were no more supervillains and crime had calmed down.
Well, like in the end of the second one, technically there's an 8-year gap between the second and third films. You know,
That's right.
And he basically, he lets them blame what Harvey did on him.
That's right. He has to, like, go into hiding.
Right. But at least there, like, and I understand what you're saying, you're not wrong, but I think at least there was some kind of substantial motivation
That makes
for Bruce.
sense. This one, he just says, like, what?
Right.
A couple sentences, and he's like, oh, I'm done.
Right.
He's like, I can't fucking do it anymore. Nicole Kidman only wants to fuck me when I'm Batman, and I ain't having it.
She was originally supposed to play Poison Ivy. And they decided they wanted her to do this character instead.
Now we need someone more hammy.
Right. You guys ever heard of Uma Thurman?
Yeah, we'll get to Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy.
PKB.
That shit is bad.
Yeah.
CPK.
Tommy Lee Jones, TLJ.
What else we got? So we got the Riddler and Two-Face. They find out Bruce Wayne is Batman.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess. Like, when I was a kid, I know we're not talking about this. They get to the Batcave, they fuck it up. They fuck up the Batcave. They blow up the Batcave. They blow up the Batmobile. They just destroy all kinds of shit. Like, that, despite the fact that by that point in the movie, I already hated it. Like, this is what, 97? 97? 95.
95.
95. Yeah, so I was 12. Yeah, that scene at 12 gave me anxiety. I was like, oh my God, they're destroying everything. And I didn't even like that version of the Batmobile. It's like, oh no, you can't do that. You destroy the Batcave.
It's the car, right?
Yeah, it's the car, right?
Chicks dig the car.
Chicks dig the car.
Jim Carrey has the grenades, and he has to do his routine where he does, like, the wacky dance, and as he's blowing stuff up, he's, like, making weird motions and just being, like, zany.
He does the cane twirl.
Yeah.
And that he's been doing the whole movie. Apparently, Carrey insisted on practicing that inside his trailer, and not only broke several prop canes, but also several pieces of the furniture in his trailer, because he kept breaking them while practicing.
Imagine the fucking sweatshop they had running to just produce these canes. Like more
Jim,
canes, more canes.
Jim, every time you break one of these, an 8-year-old's got to work a 16-hour shift. Like, come on.
I hope they put, like, a large amount of their budget
He
into
just
that.
doesn't give a fuck. He's just all
Right?
Jim Carrey about it. Alrighty then.
They
Right.
spent $50,000 on canes.
Dude, I bet it was crazy. I bet if you could get a line item of the budget for that film, it's like $275 a piece. You know? Hand-painted cranes.
So fucking the the green cane breaker destroys the Batcave almost in its entirety. He doesn't destroy the Bat plane, and he doesn't destroy the shitty Bat boat.
just not nearly as cool as the one from the Burton film.
Not as good. And he doesn't destroy the shitty pre-Batman and Robin suit.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck.
I don't like that suit. I especially don't like the cowl.
Yeah.
It becomes something much worse in Batman and Robin. But anyway.
Yeah.
So they're about to take out Batman, in his Bruce Wayne form in his house, right? So Two-Face is doing the like, will I kill him? And he flips a coin, and it's like, it's heads, so he lives. And he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep flipping it until it gets my desired result here.
Right, this is a pointless endeavor. Just kill him. Like,
you're cheating your own system, bro.
right? Well, I mean, it completely erases like the whole point there, that duality. That like there's part of Harvey that isn't like part of the old Harvey's still there. And it's always a matter of choosing which personality he's going to indulge at any moment. And like that, again, that gets completely lost here. That old Harvey just isn't there in this depiction. He doesn't exist. He's really just a maniac with a scarred face who's waiting for the opportunity to kill that person, which I could have dealt with if they at least committed to it and made the character interesting and gone like hardcore with it. But they didn't. It's just this campy, fucking neutered, over-the-top bullshit for 2 hours. Like,
You nailed it, because it's like they didn't dwell on the whole like philosophical part of the duality thing, and they're just like, oh look, he has a fucked up face and there's two sides and that's it.
right?
Like they just didn't go any further with it. They just wanted it for the effects.
Like, either address that properly or leave it out.
Yeah.
You make one or the other.
Well, what do? They knock Batman out, Bruce Wayne. They kidnap Chase Meridian Bank.
Mm-hmm.
They go back to the secret headquarters. Now it's just Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne. And they're like, we gotta go take these motherfuckers out. Fortunately, we got 2 vehicles left, and Alfred on the side was working on a Robin suit this whole time.
We got a boat and a plane, but nothing that can be on the ground.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That
What about one of
Batmobile.
his many motorcycles? There's supposed to be a Bat bike.
Maybe they could have just rolled that giant penny.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, not even there in this movie, but that's what... Dude, the comic Batcave was the coolest fucking thing in the world.
They could have hopped on that dinosaur.
Right? You gotta hop on that dinosaur. He's got the big Joker card. Like, honestly, as a little kid, part of what made me such a huge Batman fan to begin with was that depiction of the Batcave. That's the coolest fucking thing. He's got this whole underground cave with all these treasures he's got, and these supervillains and these computer systems. Like, especially, come on, if you're an 8 to 12-year-old boy and you're at all inclined to like comic books, how do you not like that? How do you not like that?
For sure.
Right? Yeah.
So what do, Alan? They get in their vehicles and they start heading toward the Riddler giant blender.
Oh yeah, so they go over there, and how do they get shot down? They end up in the water somehow.
They're playing Battleship.
Oh yeah, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey are playing Battleship.
They're setting off mines out there in the water.
And of course, they're doing their stupid cackling every time. They can't just say like, "Oh, B2." They have to say like some one-liner.
They can't just detonate bombs. They have to play Battleship.
Right? It's got to be quirky.
Why do they have to play Battleship? Why?
Just kill them. I know.
Fucking what?
'Cause they're
Fucking
crazy.
Mattel deal did they have where they had to fucking put in Battleship?
Just to show how like wild they are. You know, like they're out of their minds. They're playing Battleship. They're not taking it seriously, which is why they don't ever kill them.
It's just 2 fucking morons laughing, saying J7.
That sinking feeling.
I like this game. C9. You sunk my battleship! Who, me?
You sunk my battleship.
So dumb. Yeah.
It's like Jasper in The Simpsons. Playing bingo with all the other old people. Every time he hears a number, he's like, "Oh, you sunk my battleship."
So the boat that Robin's in, it gets destroyed. So he's like in the water, but in the water they got like henchmen.
Oh yeah, they got the Navy guys.
Yeah, they got dudes in scuba gear that are just like henchmen in the water, just like waiting for someone to fucking appear in their
The
waters.
Navy SEALs of supervillain henchmen.
They got fucking old Greg down there, fucking.
They got all those guys, but Tommy Lee Jones is still like in charge with the one gun, and they have a whole fucking like diving unit, like
They have a diving
special forces guys.
He's ridiculous. He's annoying. None of his plans have worked. Batman keeps kicking his ass. Like, what are you doing with this dude? Just kill him. You kill him yourself. There's like 200 of you. You guys know how to scuba. You're martial arts experts. You know, just get rid of him. Get rid of the guy.
Trained like special guys scuba diving.
Like you get the Dark Knight Rises. There's no question why people listen to Bane. Like that's one thing they nailed in that movie. That character is fucking intimidating. Like you get it.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's just like no, just kick the shit out of this dude, leave him somewhere. Like you gotta listen to him.
Yeah, but I love the scuba diving guys.
Right?
His payroll's that large. He has like a scuba diving team.
And then the blender shoots like a laser at the bat plane.
The laser blender.
Yeah, it can shoot lasers. That's pretty fucking out of nowhere. The fuck is that?
And their whole thing is like an island compound that then somehow doesn't it like come out of the ground?
It's like in the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like
holy rusted metal.
Good God. It's a bunch of holy rusted metal apparently.
Holy rusted metal, Batman! Huh? The ground, it's all metal. It's full of holes, you know? Holy!
Oh.
See, another callback to the show.
Oh, fuck these guys.
Right?
You should have just been like, you know what? I made a fucking mistake. Go back.
Right.
Go back swim your ass back to the fucking Batcave. You're off the team, bitch.
Get out of here, you little punk. I don't need to let you do this. I could have kicked your ass anytime I felt like it.
Fuck you, you little dipshit!
Oh yeah, doesn't he fight? Is that earlier? When does he fight Batman or get pissed off at him?
That was earlier. That was at the rave.
Oh, that was at the rave. Yeah.
Yeah.
He fights him, but he like swings once, and Batman blocks it.
Well, Batman just holds his arm in the air, like 2 feet from his face, and he just like starts hitting his arm, like whatever. Neither of them are trying.
I'm wearing an armored suit.
Anyways, so yeah, they get to their hideout.
Where Robin is immediately captured by Two-Face, just like immediately. Like he kicks his ass a little bit. I mean, Robin punches Two-Face a few times, but then Two-Face just pulls out his gun.
Seems like an opportunity to just leave Robin.
It's like, okay, the fucking dude has a gun. I mean, here we are again. That's literally how he captures him. You remember? So Two-Face is about to fall off the ledge. Robin's thinking about like, oh, maybe I should let this guy die. He did kill my parents after all. Then he's like, you know what? No. I'd rather see this dude in jail. He pulls him up, and then Two-Face pulls out his gun. He's like, that was nice, but stupid.
Right? Well, because they keep going back to that theme of like, you kill him, you won't actually feel better. You'll just be looking for the next person, and then the murder of him will haunt you. It's supposed to, I guess, hark back to Bruce dropping Joker at the end of the first one. But
yeah, you're right. He did kill that
doesn't
man.
work,
right?
though.
He did. I mean, that's because in the first film they kind of retcon the comic and story from the comics. It's no longer Joe Cho. It's Jack Napier that killed Bruce's parents. So yeah, he's getting that revenge. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, and what is he implying that? So he tells Robin, he's like, well, if you kill him, you'll basically become a murdering psychopath, like me.
Right? And you won't feel any better. Which is like, okay, I get that part, but yeah, you killed Jack Napier, like you murdered him. All right. In fact, well, I don't know. Penguin's kind of an interesting one. He and Max Schreck kind of hit Penguin together, but
he killed Shrek.
Wait,
he killed Shrek. That's true.
What about the Justice League version where he murders like a lot of people?
Yeah.
Look, it's bad enough you guys make me acknowledge this in Batman and Robin. Do I have to acknowledge that one too?
You mean that's Batman v Superman, I think, right?
Okay.
Where he's like in the car and he's just like fucking unloading machine guns on people. Not like the Joker when he just like misses.
Right.
But like, and why does he miss?
Wait, why does he miss? Right? This
He
is
has
computer controlled.
His computer. It's like the red dots right on him.
Right?
But whatever. That's for another day.
God damn it.
All right. So, the Robin is captured. Chase Meridian Bank is captured. Batman.
Oh my God, my credit.
Batman confronts Jim Carrey as himself. And Jim Carrey's like, all right, I got them both in a death trap where they will be plummeted into a watery grave, because that line was said in the previous film. So, which one are you going to save? And he tries to like outsmart the Riddler. He's like, well, I got a riddle for you. And then he says it, and the Riddler gets it right, but then he just throws a batarang. Like,
You can save Gwen Stacy and the bus. Oh, wait, no, you can't.
I think she might get her back broken on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, she might.
So yeah, I mean, Batman is not supposed to be able to rescue both of them. That's the setup for this scene, right? Like, he's gonna drop them both, and he can save one, but like he just saves them both. Like I don't.
Yeah,
Like it's so anticlimactic. Like what is this climax? Like he's supposed to be in this impossible
Right.
situation.
No, I mean
That he gets out
exactly. Like, I mean, to go back to the joke, like Gwen dies. You know, I mean, there's that moment where it's like the hero has to make a terrible decision. One way or another, somebody loses their life. And
Who would you have liked to have been killed in this scenario?
both of them. I mean, I guess.
Wow.
Probably. I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of ambivalent, to be honest. Like, which one of them? It's really more of a question. Which one do I have to keep around?
The purple side of your face is showing, bro.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I wouldn't. It's not so much which one would I let die. It's really which one do I have to continue living with. So I guess Chase Meridian.
Yeah,
I'll let her live.
Because you don't have to deal with her. Like Robin lives at your place. You got
Right.
You
Broke
gotta-
into the Batcave. He stole my car.
you got to change his diapers.
Right, yeah, he's a perpetual asshole. You know, he's the world's only 12-year-old, 30-year-old. Like, I don't know. I don't want to deal with this idiot anymore. Get him out.
Now, didn't they correct this in The Dark Knight? Because he has to make that choice between. They do the same thing in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, with
When-
Harvey and...
It's done way better in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
but you're absolutely right.
She actually dies, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Maggie Gyllenhaal dies.
Yeah.
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 and like you said, he doesn't just save both of them. There's actually a choice there. And in this one, he just somehow saves both of them.
Yeah, and easily it seems like he just like throws a batarang, pulls out a grappling hook, swings in. I got them both. And
Yeah, that was easy.
he breaks the Riddler's like brain machine, so all the green fucking CG goes into the Riddler's head. I guess which drives him crazy.
What was he keeping inside the toaster laser TV?
Well, he says it's like the knowledge of everyone. He's like, I got people's PIN numbers. I got people's sexual
Right.
fantasies.
But it's all like it's like opening up the fucking trap in Ghostbusters and all the ghosts come out. Like, why is it like that? I don't know.
And it's also like Corey says, he never gets like smarter or more powerful or
Yeah,
anything.
he never does anything.
Yeah.
I think he just like learns like people's kinks.
Basically, he's the CIA. Like, we let Google do this every day.
Oh shit, dude, that's too deep. Are you
Right.
saying this is warning us about Google?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a villain. It just needs to be somebody who wants to make money off you. Like,
That was his plan and the part of it. He was
Yeah.
selling it.
and look, it became real. So this movie was really a prophecy.
Well, what happens with Two-Face next? Because Two-Face is still around, and he's still got
Oh.
the gun.
Can't get rid of him quickly enough.
The coin. Earlier, Batman figured out his weakness, which is stupid. His weakness is the coin that he flips. And if I'm not mistaken, he flips it, but Batman throws like more coins or something and makes him lose it.
Yeah.
And then he freaks out and he's like, no, my one coin. And for whatever reason, he cast out that one. And he ends up falling to his death when he loses his balance.
Yeah, he's grasping in the air because there's all these coins in the air because he lost which one is his.
Yeah.
And he like falls forward because he's on like a thin ledge.
Yeah.
Going back a step, he clearly doesn't pay any attention to what he gets when he flips it anyway. If he wants to kill the person, he just flips it till he gets killed. So what difference does it make what coin it is? Like,
They're just going to be standing there awkwardly while he keeps trying for tails.
right?
Because his coin is the weakness. The whole thing was stupid.
Like, hold on a second. I've already got the gun. I just need to get the right side of my coin.
And that's how he has the upper hand in that situation. He pulls out his gun. This shit ain't a joke. That's his thing.
Oh, you're going to wait for me to flip this because I have the gun.
Oh, God. So he's killed by Batman.
At least that one's kind of like indirect.
I was going to say
He
indirectly.
falls. Yeah.
Very anticlimactic for this crazy villain. He just falls to his death
I
because he
get-
lost his coin.
Right? You know, you never expect, anytime they reboot Batman, you don't, I guess, expect it's going to last more than 2, 3, 4 movies at the most anyway, but it's kind of disappointing they've got to have it in all of them, really, of just killing off the villain at the end of the film. Kind of precludes, like, I think Catwoman's the only real exception. She's the only one that really survives a Batman movie.
And she comes back in the form of Halle Berry.
Right? They wanted to have Michelle Pfeiffer return in this film, and it just didn't end up happening. Thank God.
What happened with that?
She was too busy doing Dangerous Minds.
Right. Honestly, I know as a matter of fact, Michael Keaton specifically backed out. He saw the script, didn't like it, then had a meeting with Schumacher and decided definitively he did not like the direction they were going and said, I don't want to be involved anymore. Michelle Pfeiffer, I only know that they momentarily considered having her back. I don't know if they ever even actually extended. Like, that might have been an idea they nixed before they got to the point where she ever got an offer. So I don't know.
I mean, I guess on one hand, it would have been nice to have her back. I really liked her in Batman Returns, but
Right.
who knows what the fuck they would have done with her on this.
Oh, yeah, and I have a feeling she probably would have said no anyway. So, I mean, which makes it... We'll talk about this when we do Batman Returns, but Sean Young tried real hard to get Catwoman for the second film, did a lot of really, really, like, lunatic behavior type things. And if she had been Catwoman in Returns, she would have taken this part. She would have done anything at that point in her career. You could have offered her basically anything this side of porn, she would have said, yeah, I'll take that.
Well, how does this film wrap up? Joker goes crazy.
Oh, because he says
Joke Riddler.
Riddler goes crazy.
Riddler goes crazy.
Because he says that it's Bruce Wayne, but no one believes him because he's crazy. Because he knows that Batman's Bruce Wayne.
Well, then he starts to think he's Batman. Remember, he goes to Arkham.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he goes to Arkham.
This is actually the first appearance of Arkham in a film. It had never been shown in the others.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, that was a good game, Arkham Asylum.
Those games were awesome, and they did look...
Those were good games.
Those games could be an example to future Batman filmmakers, honestly, of how to handle the armor and the Batmobile and a whole lot of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because they were games and not movies, but if they were like the equivalent, they were actually good.
Right.
I wish those were the movies.
Right.
At least this movie.
Yeah. At least this one, yeah.
Well, in Arkham, Dr. Burton is the guy that's taking care of Edward Nygma, who's played by... I forget his name. It's like Renee something. He's the guy that plays Odo in Deep Space Nine. So that's pretty cool. First we got the Chief, now we got Odo. The next film better have Quark.
This is all building up to, like an Infinity War. We're building up to this one.
Everything's been building up to this moment. Anyway, that's pretty much how it ends. Chase says that Edward Nygma is definitely a wacko, and they kind of write off, I guess, in the back of fucking Bruce Wayne's Model T or whatever he's driving.
Now, here's something I just thought of, though, is they just put him in the insane asylum, so he's insane, but he's still alive. Were they planning to, like, bring him back or use him? Because they didn't kill him. He's still alive, just in the insane asylum.
They hadn't planned out past Batman and Robin, which is the one that came right after this. So technically no, they might have eventually, but because they only had one more movie after this plan, and they weren't planning on using in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about the end of Batman and Robin, there's still villains left alive. So Mr. Freeze is still alive.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy's still alive.
It's true. I was kind of wrong earlier about that.
Edward Nygma's still alive from this film.
Yeah.
Right.
Catwoman's still out there somewhere.
Right, that's true. Her they leave alive, so maybe they would have brought some of them back later, which would have been kind of cool.
Could have, because they didn't kill him. I feel like they didn't kill him for that reason. Probably.
Right. Well, that's a lot of that happened in the comics. There are various points where like a character's gone for whatever reason for a while and then reappears, or somebody gets out of Arkham.
He escaped from Arkham or something.
Right. They should have done the Nightfall storyline as a miniseries instead of trying to integrate it into the Nolan films, because it took over a year to publish all the comics. You could easily make that 18-20 episodes. The whole thing starts with Bane basically opening the gates at Arkham and letting everyone out, which is pretty amazing. Bruce spends like 3 weeks almost not sleeping at all, just rounding people back up, ending with a big fight with, I think, the Joker and the Penguin. Finally gets them all back, and that's when Bane attacks him, gets him exhausted and all fucked up first, and then breaks his back. Pretty cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, it was really played out way better in the comics.
You got like this Batman series that's out, Gotham. Have you guys ever watched that?
I've seen clips. I can't get into it. It's too much a like emo-y teenager show for me.
I have a hard time with these superhero shows that don't have the superhero. Like, that shit fucking bugs me, man.
Yeah, I can't watch any of them. That's Smallville, I can't get in. I've never was able to get into, or in those others. Like, I appreciate why, I don't mean to knock, like, I appreciate why other people liked them. I know, and I think part of it is I was slightly the wrong age for a lot of them when they came out, but yeah, not for me.
The one I watched as a kid was Lois and Clark.
Yeah, that one somehow has a real endearing quality to it. Absolutely.
Dean Cain Superman.
Dean Cain, yeah. Fuck
Oh yeah,
dude.
Rafi met Dean Kane or went to school with them.
Yeah, it's one of our coworkers.
Nice.
It was so Rafi always is fucking something.
This guy we work with, man, he like knows, like, name a celebrity and he'll tell you how he knows them. It's so fucking funny. So he was just going on about all these celebrities he knows. I was just naming them off, and one of them I threw out there was Dean Cain.
And he's like, "Oh, I went to school with them or something."
Oh, anyway, all right, let's give this film a rating. Alan, on any rating scale that you want, what do you give this?
I give this movie a 2 out of 10 glow sticks.
I love that. That's great.
It was cheesy. I mean, I like Batman. I do. But this movie just didn't hit anything on the mark. Everything was off. Everything was forced. There was a lot of stupid laughs. Two-Face was dumb. Jim Carrey was doing his thing. It was just not good. Nothing about it seemed fun. You know, sometimes like the movies you do, like Con Air, I like that a lot because it was fun, even though it was dumb. This one was just bad, and it got excruciating to watch him laugh so much. The cackle, I hated that after a while, and it just got so hard to watch.
What about you, Steve?
Oh God, I'm going to give this 1 out of 10 bats. Like, I'd give it a 0, except they actually managed to make a movie, so they get 1 bat for that. Like, it's miscast, it's badly scripted, the costuming sucks, the set design is nowhere near as good as it was in the previous films. The characters are all stiff and uninteresting. Two-Face's makeup is stupid. Riddler's costume is stupid. Dick Grayson's character is ridiculous and shallow. I hated him the whole time. They wasted what could have been the best parts of this movie. Like, even as a fucking 12-year-old, it pissed me off. Like, no love. No love. I hope this is the last time I have to sit through it.
Well, very, very good review there, Steve.
Right.
I am going to give this one a thumbs down on a thumbs up, thumbs down basis, because that's what I'm feeling right now. This movie's fucking stupid, man.
It is.
And it's not interesting to watch. Like, I remember it being more interesting, but it's just stupid. You get these fucking scenery chewing assholes fucking laughing the whole time. Laughing at nothing. Everything they do, they just laugh. They're just like, I don't know, fucking eating a ham sandwich, just like laughing their ass off. Like, just stop. Why is this happening?
Cackling.
And like, I love how like they throw their heads back. It's like so over dramatic, like to the max. Like that's like the funniest thing they've ever heard. They're just full head back, just laughing.
Imagine the funniest thing you've ever heard and amplify it by 1,000,000. Like,
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Val Kilmer as Batman. I know some people say he's all right, but
no,
it's not really my thing.
People are wrong.
I just don't think the movie worked very well, especially like the transformation in tone and visual style from the last couple films it's really jarring and worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the other ones. I don't like this one.
Downgrade.
Yeah, and then you get more of that in Batman and Robin.
Right? This gets worse. It's just amplified. I
Yeah.
feel like they sat down and said, "You guys know everything we did wrong with the last one. Let's do more of that."
Double down, motherfucker.
Double down, right?
Well, they had to lighten the tone of this one because, and Steve probably knows more about this, but Batman Returns was too fucking dark and edgy. It was too Tim Burton-y. There was a fucking McDonald's deal,
Yes.
and they had Happy Meal toys for Batman Returns.
Yes, I had one of
But
those
fucking
toys.
Penguin biting people's noses off and shit was too gnarly, so...
McDonald's canceled the promotion, stopped giving out the toys, and now they're worth a bunch of money because there was only a period of like 3 weeks where kids could actually get them.
I had some.
Yeah, me too. We had the penguin in the car.
Yeah, I
that
had
was the best
that
one.
one was like the common one.
Right? I think it was basically just a Mac Tonight toy from like 1987 with Joker stuck, or Penguin stuck in instead of fucking Mac Tonight. But yeah, it was also parents groups hated it. Whole thing did not go down well. The studio apparently had a meeting with Tim Burton, was just like, we can't do that again.
Can't have Danny DeVito fucking biting people's faces off. And,
Right. I'm pretty sure someone at the studio was like, "Oh, you know, Tim, people really want us to show from the '60s, and that's how you end up with this garbage."
I would love
Like,
Can you imagine someone saying that sentence, like just telling that to someone? We can't have them biting people's faces out.
Right? Yeah, you can't have people getting bitten on the face, Tim.
Tim Burton's like, I have an idea. We get Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. They're like, just get the fuck out, dude. We had like, no more.
Dude, Johnny Depp at that point in history as Jonathan Crane in a Batman directed by Tim Burton might have been amazing. I'm just saying.
I could deal with that.
Right?
In an alternate universe.
I mean, yeah, but just kind of think, same vein as Edward Scissorhands, man. He could have done it so good. Ah, shit. Wishing for things that could never be.
Well, into the fanfic pile it goes.
I don't know. All my fanfic gets hugely pornographic.
And that's okay, too. Now it's time to draw from the hat, my lads.
Yes.
Steve, would you mind handing it to Alan? I think it's his turn.
Oh, it's my turn.
You better be good luck, Alan.
What
if I have to
gem?
sit through one of the Three Ninja sequels, I'm going to be real upset.
What gem am I going to get here? I have a good feeling about this one.
It's going to be Noon at High Mountain or whatever the hell that one's
This
called.
one. Okay.
It's going to be
Are you ready for this?
It's going to have some little Jaden Smith in it.
Are you guys ready?
No.
I'm not either, but here we go. Okay. It's Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, shit. All right. Boy, buckle up, everyone. I'm going to be complaining a lot.
Man, I've been waiting for this one since episode 2.
I'm kind of excited for this one. This one should be...
You didn't
At
read it
least
right. It's
somewhat.
Super Mario, bro. That's the way I wrote it.
So what's Super Mario, bro? It's Super Mario, bro.
All right, well, next time on Big Dumb Movie, we'll be reviewing Super Mario, bro. So, tune in. If you want to write us, you can email us at bigdumbmovie@gmail.com. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Good night.